What's going on, everyone? Jack here from Half Chrome, and today I want to talk about drones under $100. If you're thinking about getting a drone and you want to spend less than $100, there's a couple of things that you probably need to know and some things you need to consider before you just go out and buy one. So my goal here today is to inform you a little bit about the different kinds of drones that you can get for less than $100 and also show you where the best place to buy one of those drones might be. I think the worst thing you could do would be to go out to the store and buy one at a place like Walmart. Yes, you can get a drone there, and yes, it'll probably be less than $100, but there are better places where you can get basically the same drone for a little bit less. And honestly, Walmart doesn't have the best selection of drones, and really there aren't many box stores that I would recommend you go to buy a drone from. I'm also going to tell you about some of my favorite drones for less than $100, and we'll do that after I kind of explain a couple of things here. So we're going to dive into drones for less than $100, whether it's for you or as a gift. You're going to want to watch this. Stay tuned. Now, the first thing you need to know when you're buying a drone for less than $100 is the camera. And the camera pretty much isn't going to be very good. A lot of drones, they'll say they have 4K cameras, 6K cameras, 8K cameras, and that's kind of true, but it isn't, right? So a lot of times for drones that are less than $100, what they're doing is they're upscaling the video. So, it's probably a 720p camera, and then they're upscaling it so you get a higher resolution file, but the picture isn't getting any better, right? Camera quality is determined by so many more things than just the resolution. So just kind of keep that in mind. If it says 8K or ESC camera, pretty much run, because that's the worst. They're also not going to be on gimbal, so it's going to be a little bit jittery, and that's okay if you're just learning how to fly or you just want something to help you spot. But just kind of note that the cameras more or less aren't going to be great. If you want to see what it looks like, you know what you should do? Look for a review, and odds are we've reviewed it or there's someone else on YouTube that has. So take a look at the quality of the video coming out of that drone before you buy it because it said 4K, 6K, or 8K or something like that. The other thing you need to know is there are two different kinds of motors that these drones have. Some drones come with what we call brushed motors. This is a brushed motor on the Ryze Tello. And a brushed motor is less efficient and it wears out over time, but they tend to be cheaper. So these are the kinds of motors that you find in most drones under $100. Sometimes they'll look like this, and this is actually a brushed motor. It's hidden in the arm here. And then it's geared up, so you get a little bit more efficiency out of a geared brushed motor drone, but still going to wear out over time. So brushed motor drones, yeah, they wear out over time, which means you're going to have to either replace the motor or replace the drone. It used to be nearly impossible to find a brushless motor drone for less than $100, but there are more and more of them available. And a brushless motor is a little bit more efficient, but a little bit more expensive. They also last a whole lot longer. You want a brushless motor drone if you can. Most of them have this silver hub peeking out over the top. That's going to be different than a geared motor like this or just a small silver cylinder that looks like that. So you can kind of see the copper windings on the inside of the motor, and that's a telltale sign of a brushless motor. So if you can get a brushless motor drone, that's the way to go. A lot of times they'll be on drones roughly this size. If it has GPS and brushless motors, you're in good shape. That's probably the drone under $100 you want, but that's actually, again, pretty darn rare. And even if it does, the camera's going to be kind of shaky, so just kind of keep that in mind. But they do exist, and I'll show you where you can get some of those after I talk about some of my favorite drones you can get for less than $100. Now, my model here, no, is not a $100 drone. But it's pretty much the best drone you can get for less than $200. It's the Seafly Faith Mini. Link down below if you want to learn more about this. But we're here to talk about $100 drones, so let's get into it. Now, this here is a tiny whoop style drone, and this is one of my favorites. I actually really like the Eachine E010, E017. Holy Stone makes a good tiny whoop as well, but a tiny whoop, a drone like this with this ducted pattern, you can fly it inside, you can fly it outside. They're a ton of fun to fly. Plus, if you're thinking about getting into FPV flying, that's the stuff you see on ESPN, these are good things for that because they can be converted to FPV drones. Also, these drones are like $15 to $25, you're not going to break the bank with one of these. So it's an excellent place to start. I love flying it. They're good for kids. Now, speaking of kids, my favorite drone as a gift for a kid is actually the Force One Scoot. And once upon a time, this was the best selling drone on Amazon. And it's an enclosed drone, so they're not gonna hurt their fingers. And it just flies around using infrared sensors. It is a blast. It's not a drone in the traditional sense where you're controlling it with a controller, but you're controlling it with your hands and moving it around where you want it to go. A lot of fun, great for kids, and less than 30 bucks. Force One makes another fun drone. It's like a tiny whoop, but a little bit bigger. It has super bright LEDs on it. Chris actually used it to do some light painting, kind of a cool thing, but another good drone for kids and another drone that isn't going to break the bank. Now, my all-time favorite drone for less than $100 is this. This is the Ryze Tello, and it has one of the best cameras you can get on a drone for $100. It also has incredible stability because it has some sensors here in the bottom. This thing has an HD camera, and it actually is stabilized electronically, so it takes out some of the shakes and jitters that kind of naturally happen when you're flying. Now, I actually teach a class and I use a set of these to teach kids how to code. That's right, you can learn how to code with this thing. Just drag and drop code, and it's really kind of fun. Now, this drone does not come with a remote control. You fly it with your phone. It actually has a handful of intelligent flight modes. You got an up and away, you got an orbit. There's a lot of really good things with this drone. Hands down, my favorite drone for less than $100. But when it comes to drones for $100, they're constantly changing, right? And I think there are two places that if you're looking for a drone for less than $100, you should go. One is Amazon and the other is Banggood. Now, if you haven't heard of Banggood, you can kind of think of it as Chinese Amazon. And the disadvantage is it's going to take you a little bit longer to ship to you because it's come from China, and it doesn't have the customer service that Amazon does. So those are the two places that I'd suggest you look. And you know what? Let's do that right now. So I'm going to look on Banggood right now to see what do we have available for less than $100. And right off the bat, I see this, the JJRC H36 Mini 2. It's an excellent drone, 16 bucks. This is one of those tiny whoops. I love that thing as an option, a great beginner starter drone. As we kind of move along, another JJRC, and you kind of look to see, do we have brushed motors or brushless, right? So we got brushed. That's a brushless mode drone, 60 bucks. Eachine EX5, this is a good drone. I've flown that one before. Some pretty decent options. Here's one of my favorites, the Eachine E017. Again, tiny whoop style drone, 18 bucks. I've done a review on this. I love flying this thing. It is absolutely one of my favorites. Look at that. Even there it is. There's my video right there. But yeah, it is a whole lot of fun to fly if you're looking for a tiny whoop. Just kind of looking through the list here. Find something that's in your price range and go with it. You know, do you want a whoop style drone? Do you want something with brushless motors? And go with that. You know, a brush motor drone is going to be harder to fly in the wind. Right here, ooh, this Hubsan. This is an oldie but a goodie. This H501S. You get a built-in screen in the remote. It eats batteries, but this is an excellent drone. I haven't seen this one under $100 in a while. It used to be like a $300 drone. What does it say up here? Yeah, $259.99. So that's another solid option. I'll leave links down below to my favorite drones in the description. So make sure you check that out. They are affiliate links. They help support the channel. They don't cost you a thing. Now I'm going to jump on Amazon here, and drones under $100. There are lots of options, but you can kind of see right away they're a little bit pricier than Banggood, but you're going to get Amazon customer service and Amazon shipping. This one right here, $69.99. 4K camera, mini drone. Camera's garbage, but the drone itself will fly pretty well, so keep that in mind. We've got brushless motors. We've got some brushed motors here. So just, you know, as you're looking, some companies that I like on Amazon, Holy Stone is one of them. And actually, I did a search here for Holy Stone, and they have decent drones at higher price ranges. Now, I don't actually recommend those, but when you get under $100, that's where their drones are actually probably better than most of the competition. So these two here are pretty decent, but they have a tiny whoop that I really like. Let's see if it's on this page here. Yeah, right here. This Holy Stone mini drone for kids, it's 30 bucks. Again, more expensive than Banggood, but certainly a good option. Now that was a search for $100. If I move my search from 25 to 50, I think this is probably where you're going to get better deals. So you can kind of see, ooh, there's some UFO type drones. The Force One UFO drone's a lot like one of these. Is that there? No, but lots of good options. And again, you're not going to break the bank. But actually, you can do an Amazon search for drones for less than 25 bucks and some decent options here. Yeah, that LED drone, that's going to be decent. We got a Holy Stone. No, that's not under 25. But we do have some other options. There's the Force One Scoot 2450. The tiny little Sky Viper Dash Nano. I don't recommend that. It's actually a lot of fun to fly, but really hard, right? Really small drones can be difficult to fly. Another drone company you might want to search for less than $100 is SEMA. They make some good drones. This X5 is an oldie but a goodie. One of my favorite drones. This thing can take a beating. So no, you don't have to spend $1 billion to get a good drone, right? But note, these drones, they don't have the world's greatest cameras, but they will be fun to fly. If these aren't the drones for you, you want something with a little bit of a better camera, maybe you want to increase your price range. I've got a video best drones for less than 200 bucks. I also have a video best drones for less than $300, and that is where the drones really start to get good. So you might want to check either of those out. I'll put them in the description down below. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Good luck, everyone, and happy flying.